Jeb Bush returning to the key state of New Hampshire today. These are live pictures from the city of Hampton, where Bush is holding a town hall meeting. Moments ago, Bush took a tour of a local manufacturing facility, and we've been listening. And no, he has not spoken a word of Spanish. As you know, this town hall comes as his war of words with Donald Trump shows no signs of slowing down. Trump taking issue with Bush speaking Spanish while out on the campaign trail. His message to the former Florida governor: set the example. Speak English while you're in the United States. For his part, Jeb Bush is fighting back.
So what was your first thought when you heard him criticize you for speaking Spanish?
I laughed. I mean, this is a joke. I was in a press gaggle where people asked me a question in Spanish, and I answered it in Spanish. Part of it is you laugh because it's so bizarre, but it's hurtful for a lot of people, and Mr. Trump knows this. He's appealing to people's angst and their fears rather than their higher hopes.
And this latest Trump-Bush battle is not going unnoticed by other GOP contenders. In an interview with CNN, Carly Fiorina weighed in on her rivals and the language debate.
I think Donald Trump and Jeb Bush are going at it as frontrunners are going to do in a presidential campaign. I mean, I recall over the last couple days, Martin O'Malley protesting at the DNC meeting because he wants a chance to go at Hillary Clinton. I mean, I think this is what politics is about. I also think, look, I admire the fact that Jeb Bush is multilingual. I admire the fact that so many people are multilingual, and I also think that English is the official language of the United States.
So let's talk about this. Jason Johnson is a professor of political science and contributor to Sirius XM Radio, and Ben Ferguson is a conservative talk show host and CNN political commentator. All right, I'll start with you, Ben. Why are we arguing over whether or not you can speak Spanish on the campaign trail?
It brings up the bigger issue Donald Trump has been trying to make, and that is that, you know, as a country, we become too politically correct and afraid to recognize when there are issues. I think his bigger point is we have become too accommodating to people coming into this country that are not trying to be a part of this country. Now, at the same time, you look at Jeb Bush and what he said. Jeb Bush has got a very good point that he's making here. Someone asked me a question in Spanish. I'm bilingual. I'll be honest with you. I hope that I wish I was bilingual. I think it's a huge asset in an international world economy. I think if you have a wife, especially that speaks Spanish, and for him to learn a second language, which is not exactly easy to do, and you have kids that are bilingual, you should celebrate that. So there are two sides here that are going to go to battle over this. One that says we can be a big melting pot, and how dare you say that I can't speak Spanish. The other side's going to say, you know what, we've been too accommodating to illegal immigrants. We made it too easy for people to come here and not become a part of America, and that's going to be Donald Trump's line on this, I think, all the way until either he says he wins this thing or he gets out.
Well, but Jason, Carly Fiorina is jumping in on this. She says she believes English is the official language, which I'm not sure they ever voted English as our official language in this country. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
Yeah, there is no official language, and this is just, look, on the one hand, it's good for Jeb Bush because he needs to punch up, because basically Donald Trump has knocked him down to 4th or 5th place in Iowa right now. Trump is appealing to the constituency that he has, that for racial and political reasons associates everything with illegal immigrants coming in from Mexico. The practical issue to me is this: there are lots of native Spanish speakers who are American citizens. And so it makes sense for Jeb Bush to use whatever language it is he can to communicate with voters. And whether that's Spanish, whether that's sign language, whether that's Russian or German, it doesn't matter. You have to learn how to communicate with potential voters. So they're both right for whoever it is they're trying to win with.
And let's face it, Ben, you can't win an election with just white people voting for you these days, right?
Well, of course. But I think Donald Trump thinks I'm going to get people that are sick and tired of the average politician. And honestly, look at it so far. It's worked unbelievably well. And so his mantra is really, I'm going to be non-PC on every issue. And if you're speaking Spanish, I'm sorry, that's wrong. You're making it, you're not helping people become a part of our society if you do that. And there are going to be people who say, that's what I want. I want blunt, straight talk. I don't want any of this BS that politicians come up with. I don't want any of this poll testing. So at least I'll say this, he's being very true to who he is. And so far with this campaign, it is, and people are not going to like me. Some aren't. But I'm going to be real and blunt, and hopefully I can make up the difference for those people that come out as first-time voters.
Well, I'll tell you one group that's not liking Donald Trump. According to a Washington Post ABC News poll, 82% of Hispanics have an unfavorable view of Donald Trump. I just wanted to throw that out there.
And
I want to get to the...
He may say, you know what, I'm at 82% negative. Let's go all in, and this will be the next issue to do it.
He'll lose.
We'll make it an even 100. Okay, just a quick point about this pledge that the RNC wants all of the Republican candidates to sign, pledging they will not run as a third party. I actually think that's, I don't know. I think it's wrong. You should be able to run as anything you want to in the United States, Jason.
Yeah, I think it's really cowardly on the part of the RNC to require this of people. And I also think it's silly all the other Republicans. You got Chris Christie and Rand Paul saying, I'm going to sign the pledge too. You know, they're pledging not to run as a third-party candidate. That's like me saying, I'm not going to declare for the NBA draft. It wouldn't matter. I'm not going to be in the draft anyway. The only person this was really built for is Donald Trump. And I think it reflects the fact that the RNC doesn't trust the rest of the field, and they're terrified of a Trump third-party campaign, and I think that's anti-American.
All right, Jason.
It's not anti-American. It is.
It's anti-American. It's anti-democratic. You should let anybody run who wants to run, and if the RNC knew what they were doing, they wouldn't have to worry about Donald Trump.
Okay, I got to leave it there. Ben Ferguson, Jason Johnson, thanks so much. I'll be right back.